day, students. It's Mr. Sergeant here with another science video, and I am super okay, enough. And I'm super excited to talk about what we're going to be focusing on today. We're continuing our week of invertebrates, and it's back. Oh, man. Okay, so today we're going to continue talking about invertebrates, and we're going to focus on the classification of arthropods, and things are going to get a little buggy today. So sit back and let's learn. As I look around me, I can see quite a few bugs. When we think about bugs or insects, usually it's not in a positive way. They often annoy us, they buzz around us, some of them even sting us. We find them in all sorts of places that we don't want them. Well, here's the thing. There are more of them than there are of us. In fact, the largest classification of any living thing on Earth is insect or arthropod. Now, when we talk about insects or arthropods, there's a few facts that we gotta know first. Number one, there's three parts to the arthropod. If we look right here at the diagram, boop, you will see every arthropod has three parts. You got the head, you got the thorax, and you got the abdomen. Now, the legs are connected to the abdomen. And since we're talking about legs, all insects, I shouldn't say all arthropods, but all insects have 6 legs. Now, when we're talking about arthropods, though, it's a little bit more than that. See, spiders and crustaceans, such as lobsters or crabs, are also considered arthropods. Now, spiders have 8 legs. That's what makes them different and unique from all the other insects. But other than that, they follow the same pattern of life. They follow the same structure as other insects. So though we're not going to talk a lot today about crustaceans or arachnids or spiders, but what we're talking about today does apply to them as well. So we got our first fact, and that is they have 3 parts. They have the head, thorax, and abdomen. They got 6 legs, or 8. Thank you. And, well, you can find them everywhere except for Antarctica because they are cold-blooded. Now, what's really cool about arthropods is, well, we already know they're invertebrates, so they have no backbone. In fact, they have no bones at all. What they do have is what we call an exoskeleton, which means their protective covering is on the outside. So if you think about insects such as the grasshopper, the bee, the spider, and other arthropods like even the crab and lobster, you notice that their shell is on the outside protecting everything that's on the inside. That's pretty cool. Now, to help us with more information about insects and arthropods, let's take a look at today's vocabulary video.
All insects have 6 legs, a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. Our reputation's bad, but most are not a source of danger. We just enjoy doing our work out in nature. All insects have 6 legs, a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. Our reputation's bad, but most are not a source of danger. We just enjoy doing our work out in nature. I'm an insect, sometimes I'm called a bug. There are millions of types of insects, but we don't get much love. So let me tell you something, some facts about my kind, cause there are 10 quintillion of us alive at any one time. We all share common traits, like we're all arthropods, which means that we have many legs to do many jobs. Like a grasshopper hops and a water beetle swims and a praying mantis can hold on to things.
I drew my chicken wing.
All insects have a head, thorax, and an abdomen, covered by a hard protective shell called an exoskeleton. The abdomen contains the parts that we need to be able to breathe. The parts create more insects and digest the food we eat. You've maybe seen us fly, cause some of us have wings, and many have antennae. They are my favorite things. Compound eyes are cool because they contain thousands of lenses, which all point out in ever so slightly different directions. All insects have 6 legs, a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. Our reputation's bad, but most are not a source of danger. We just enjoy doing our work out in nature. All insects have 6 legs, a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. Our reputation's bad, but most are not a source of danger. We just enjoy doing our work out in nature. So let me rewind to the start. I said insects get no love, but I don't think people realize insects get stuff done. Termites in the forest help recycle all the dead trees, and we wouldn't have fruits and vegetables without pollinating bees. Ladybugs like me eat mites and aphids for a snack. So if you need some pest control, my people got your back. Humans look to insects when trying to solve their problems, because chances are there's a bug out there that's already solved them. Like humans have made buildings based on termite nests, because when it comes to energy saving, termites are the best. And when researchers want to make a super painless medical needle, they study the structure of the mouth of a mosquito, since mosquitoes suck blood without a person ever feeling the bite. A needle that copies a mosquito's mouth might be pretty nice. Copying insects is called biomimicry, but us insects call it insects making history. Yes, us insects call it insects making history. All insects have 6 legs, a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. Our reputation's bad, but most are not a source of danger. We just enjoy doing our work out in nature.
Now, if you're at home right now and want to do this vocabulary video, all you have to do is log on to Vocabulary. Most of you already know your account number and account password. And if you don't, the password's always school123. And your username is, well, you should know your username by now. But if you want to do this assignment and do this lesson, by all means, if you're home right now, go ahead and log on to vocabulary.com and check it out. Now, I don't know about you, I got a different perspective on insects and bugs right now, but I want to get a closer look. So let's go head on over to the lab and take a closer look using some special tools at some arthropods. So we are now back in the lab, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while, and today we are going to take a closer look at arthropods. And I just so happen to have a few arthropods with me today. And I want to introduce you and show them. First up, I have one that we're used to seeing a lot. It is the cricket. I'm going to get a closer look on that. Hold it still for a second. We're going to take a closer look at the cricket. Next, one of the most feared arthropods out there, the scorpion. And one that I'm highly allergic to and I gotta stay clear from. Thankfully, we have this protective resin protecting us from this arthropod, and that is the hornet. Pretty cool, right? Next, we have one of the most feared arthropods in the entire world, the scorpion. Pretty scary, right? Well, they are kind of scary. They do hold a lot of poison and things like that. But this is the underside of the scorpion. If you notice, we have the legs right here. If we counted, there are 6. So it is an arthropod. It's got an exoskeleton, very hard shell. I'm going to show you the other side after. But the underside is also protected. Now, if you look at the scorpion, one thing that stands out is it's mostly abdomen. There's not a very large head. there's not a very large thorax. It is mostly abdomen. Now, some of the cool features about the scorpion, well, let's take a closer look. First, let's take a look at the front. Now, just like crustaceans, it has front claws. Now, a lot of people would consider this possibly related to the arachnid because it seems like it has 8 legs, but these right here are actually claws. So when it hunts for food, it uses these to sort of help attack it after we see the next part, the tail injects the poison. All right, but if you look, they are segmented just like a crustacean. Now, when I say crustacean, I'm talking lobsters, I'm talking crabs. They also have these front claws. Pretty interesting, but when we're talking about scorpions, the one thing that stands out is the tail. So let's take a look at that. Now, this is a tail. It uses this to help defend itself, but it also uses it to hunt prey. And there's so much venom in this arthropod. You can see the stinger right here. I would not want to be messing with that at all. But it connects just like its front claws in segments, so it's easier to bend. Very good. And it can be a more versatile way to get its food and to protect itself. I don't know. I think this is pretty cool. Next, we have the hornet. Probably the most dangerous for Mr. Sargent because, like many people, I am allergic to the sting of this arthropod. Thank goodness it is in resin and we are protected. But if you look at the head of the hornet, you have the head here, but it's got the antenna right there that it uses to communicate, to sense things, to sense danger, to sense enemies, to protect itself. So as we move on from the head to there's the thorax right there connecting the head to the abdomen. You can also see how the legs of the hornet can actually, they got the feelers just like all the others. And there are indeed 1, 2, 3, let's go to the other side, 4, 5, 6. There's the 6 legs, and they're in all different directions to help them move. Now, unlike the other arthropods that we've seen, other than the butterfly, you notice connected to its abdomen right there, you will see it has some pretty cool wings. Now, these may not look as big as the butterflies, but they are able to move the hornet and any other flying insect as fast, move them very quickly through the air. They don't need to be huge because when we're talking about a hornet, it needs to be sort of aerodynamic and streamlined because they are really quick arthropods. Now, the last part of the hornet that I want to take a look at is right here. There is its stinger. It doesn't look like much, but that stinger can do a lot of damage. Now, ladies and gentlemen, insects and arthropods often have some sort of stinger to help protect themselves from, well, bigger things because arthropods are not that big. In fact, they are some of the smallest creatures on the planet. So they have to find a way to defend themselves, and that is how a hornet defends itself. Now, today we witnessed a lot of different arthropods, from ones that look like crustaceans to ones with wings to ones that make noises. Now, it's important to understand that sometimes things in the world that may kind of scare us or gross us out are often quite beautiful when you look at them closer. This is the underside of the cricket. Now, it may look scary, but it's got an incredible design to it. And that's what life is about. It's about incredible designs. Each living thing on Earth is created differently. Each living thing has different things that make it exceptional and special. If we take a closer look at the underside of the cricket, you can see just the design and how the legs are connected, how it's protected itself with an exoskeleton. Ladies and gentlemen, nature is incredible when you take a closer look at it. So I encourage you to take a closer look at arthropods. Now, don't get too close because like we said before, sometimes arthropods can be dangerous. But most of the times they're just out there trying to protect themselves. But sometimes it's okay to take a closer look at some of the incredible creatures that inhabit our planet. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for an incredible lesson today. I cannot wait to see what we learn tomorrow. So until then, I hope you have an incredible, incredible night.